my darlings, and welcome to Bedtime Stories with Mx.Olivia. Today's story is going to be from Tales Our Abuelitas Told, and it is called The Joyful Bagpipes. A very long time ago, in the green mountains of Galicia, in northwestern Spain, lived a family of farmers. Their land was small and didn't yield enough to feed the father, mother, and their 3 sons. The 2 older brothers, Pablo and Tomas, were always making fun of Santiago, the youngest. Somehow they always managed to devour most of the food on the table before Santiago had had hardly anything to eat. Eventually, their parents decided that it would be better if their youngest son were to go to the mountains and work as a goatherd. "At least he will have enough milk to drink," said the mother, "and he'll grow up to be independent and responsible," said the father. Santiago loved his new life in the mountains. He tended the goats with care and felt fortunate to be outdoors all day. He did not even mind sleeping all by himself in a small stone hut next to the grazing fields. The youngest boy had been in the mountains for a year and a day when he encountered an old woman. "What are you doing here all alone?" she asked him. "Aren't you afraid to be here all by yourself?" "No, madam, I'm not," he replied. "I love the mountains and the goats." "So you're happy? Is there nothing you want?" the woman asked. "Oh, well, I'd love to have bagpipes to keep me company." That you shall," said the woman, and she opened her cape and offered him the instrument. It was old and worn out, but it produced the richest sound. From that day on, Santiago played his bagpipes, and whenever he did, the goats danced merrily. Soon, the other goatherds noticed that Santiago's goats were fatter than theirs, so they decided to spy on him. When they heard him play the bagpipes and saw the goats dancing, they reported this to the goat's owner. When the goat's owner came to the mountains to see if what the goatherds had told him was true, Santiago was sitting under a tree with the goats lying around him. "Why are they not grazing?" the owner asked the boy. "They are resting," Santiago replied. "So is it true that they dance?" the man asked. "Only when I play the bagpipes," answered the boy. "Then play," the man ordered. When Santiago played, the goats danced, and the goat's owner danced also. And no matter how hard the man tried to stop, he wasn't able to, not until the music stopped. "I don't need this magic in my fields," the man said. So he told Santiago to return home and not come back. When the boy told his family what had happened, his brothers began to taunt him and mock him. But no matter how much they goaded him to play his bagpipes, Santiago refused. He had caused enough trouble for himself. But although he did not play, he carried the bagpipes along with him at all times. A week after Santiago returned home, their father asked Pablo, the oldest brother, to take the apples from their orchard to sell in the market. Halfway there, Pablo met an old woman. He did not know it, but she was the same woman who had given Santiago the bagpipes. "What are you carrying?" she asked, looking at the large sack slung over his shoulder. Since he didn't want to have to offer her any of the apples, Pablo replied harshly, "I'm carrying rats." "Well, have good luck with your rats," the woman told him. When Pablo arrived at the market and opened his sack, much to his surprise, 100 rats scurried out. Everyone screamed, and he was chased out of town. When he returned home, Pablo dared not tell his parents what had happened. Instead, he pretended that some thieves had run away with his sack. The following week, on market day, the father sent Tomas, the second brother, to sell a sack of pears. Tomas also met the old woman on the road, and he too was selfish. When she asked him, "What are you carrying?" he answered harshly, "Birds." "Have luck with your birds, then," the woman replied. And how surprised he was when he opened his sack of pears in the market, and out flew 100 birds. Like his older brother, Tomas did not tell his family the truth about what had happened. He pretended that the same thieves who had attacked his brother had run away with his sack too. The following week, when Santiago asked their father to let him go to market, the 2 older brothers laughed. "He's not going to be able to sell anything," they both claimed. But their father said, "All I have left is this basket of grapes. he covered it with a white cloth and let his youngest son take it to the market. On his way, Santiago also met the old woman, but since she was hunched over and all wrapped up in her cape, he did not recognize her. "What have you there?" the old woman asked. "Just some grapes. Would you like some?" "No, thank you, but have luck with your grapes." And good luck he had indeed. When he began to sell his grapes at the market, it seemed that his basket would never empty. The more grapes he sold, the more grapes there were in the basket. And so he sold grapes all day. When Santiago brought the money back to his family, his father and mother were delighted. His father said, "Tomorrow I will go with you to town. With this much money, we will be able to eat decently for a while." "Make sure to bring me some fresh eggs," his mother asked. "Perhaps I can hatch some and we can raise chickens." The next day, with the money from the grapes, Santiago and his father bought a wheelbarrow full of goods. On top of the sacks of flour and grain, they placed 2 large baskets of eggs. Halfway home, the boy felt an urge to play his bagpipes. "Please," said the father, "do not play the bagpipes. What if the eggs begin to dance?" "Don't be fearful, father," Santiago replied. But as he played, the eggs did begin to jump about as if dancing in the baskets. "Please stop, stop," said the father, while he himself began to dance along, causing the wheelbarrow to shift from side to side along the road. But the boy did not stop. He kept playing the bagpipes all the way home. Hearing the music, the mother came out the door to greet them, just as the eggs jumped out of the baskets and yellow chicks began to run all around. From then on, Santiago played his bagpipes daily, and whenever he played, the chicks danced. Soon they turned into plump hens who danced merrily and laid the largest eggs, which in turn hatched into the happiest chicks. When Santiago played the bagpipes, even Pablo and Tomas could not resist dancing. After dancing along day after day, the 2 older brothers became much merrier than they had ever been, and one could even hear them laughing and singing while working in the fields. They never were mean to Santiago again, and no one who came to their door was ever refused a share of their crops. Many years went by until this story was lost among the chestnut trees, where I found it to tell it to you. Sleep well, babies. I love you very much, and I'll talk to you soon.